Okay, good morning, Regina. If you're already on here, I see that. It's a good live to listen to. Okay, green screen is working this morning. All right, hopefully it'll work again when I look at it again. On your own, go ahead and inhale and exhale 3 times, 3 deep breaths. On your own, ready, set, go. All right. 3 deep breaths in, you got it. Make sure that you have your water this morning. I was going to do cognitive fitness this morning, and then some things took place yesterday evening, and now I am not doing that. I have a different topic. I've been led in a different direction this morning. Make sure you have your water if I didn't already say that. I do know that I do not have the background currently because this is part of, I have a point that I need to demonstrate. And so if I put the background up, then it doesn't demonstrate that point, but I will be getting to that background. What is this? YouTube is telling me that there's no one here, but I do see Regina's 2 different messages. So if you are here, go ahead and type something just so that I know that you are here and that didn't, like, I don't know why that would do that, but making sure that YouTube is not glitching. And in fact, I can go to YouTube myself and make sure. Okay, so my test did pop up. I will proceed. Okay, so here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to be talking about avoiding holding people accountable. And I have to give you backstory in order for this live to make sense. So Kevin asked, how did Nola get into sports advising? And we told the story of my cousin. What we didn't say is that we have gone no contact with him since January, the 3rd week of January of this year. And here's why. He comes from a very toxic situation. And so this time last year, he was committed to LSU all the way up until signing day of last year, December 4th, up until the hour before signing day. And his mother decided that if he wanted to early enroll, he was going to do what she wanted to do. And so that is why he is at Alabama, even though LSU actually needs him. And now he is 10 out of 10 on the roster in the receiving room in Alabama. And he would have been playing in the fall. And now it doesn't look like he will be playing. So Alabama was the second choice. It was not the first choice, and it's not the best choice. And so as a result of that, when he went to school, in order for us to maintain contact with him, he was going to need to go no contact with his mother. He decided that he wasn't able to do that, and so he wanted us to still participate in all of her antics, and the answer was absolutely unequivocally no. So we went no contact the 3rd week of January, and we have not been in contact with him at all. Nola has still checked in just to see. We did leave him Nola did with a playbook for him to do well in the midst of being at the wrong school. So he is on the dean's list. He's done some great things, has stayed out of trouble. As we know, college athletes, football, everybody can get in trouble at school. And so none of that has taken place. So he did not hold his mother personally accountable for the things that he needed to hold her personally accountable for. And so we went no contact. Now, some of you may think, well, that's a terrible, horrible thing. But we're going to see after this live is over if you still feel that same way. In addition to that, yesterday we went to a client's home who has long-term Airbnbs, and we initially met him at his first Airbnb, set that up for him, and then that was last year. So this year he has purchased a home in, I think it's called Country Club Hills. It's on the lesser privileged side of town, so it's a country club environment, but it's off of Maryland Parkway. It's basically in the fucking cut. So it's for people who don't really have a lot of money that want to try to act like they got some bread. But as soon as you drive out of any of the entrances, there's a rehab facility, a Dollar Market General, opioid crisis centers and everything. It's in the fucking cut. But the people on the inside feel good because they got a little bit of bread and they think they got more money than they have. And so we've been over there several different times and said, we're not coming back. We're not coming back. So a couple weeks ago, we get an appointment from him, and I'm like, she says where it is. I'm like, we got to go over there. But she's like, good morning, Lola. She said, well, it's him. He's a pre-existing customer. So we go, His caregiver at the house is 20 minutes late. There's all this mayhem going on. So we a bunch of boxes in the garage. So I cut up some of the boxes. The rest of the boxes I leave in the garage because it was boxes in the garage. So this next time we go, and the order is for a 6-chair table set patio furniture, 2 lounge chairs, 2 rocking chairs. So we get there, Nola goes and knocks on the door. She's taking a long time. She comes back to the car. She's getting dolly. She's doing all these things. And then I realize what is going on, and I'm livid because I'm like, I told you don't be moving no motherfucking boxes. We don't move boxes. We put furniture together. We are not box movers. So I said, this is it. Done. He don't have access anymore. So as the appointment progresses, the box that she had to move 4 boxes. One of the boxes weighs 191 pounds. Nola weighs 110 pounds soaking wet. I weigh 127. This box needed to be moved from the front or the garage all the way to the patio. The caregiver of the house is junky. She got shit all over the floor and everything else. So I was like, we're done. I said, I'm not cutting these fucking boxes up. Fuck them. So I tape the boxes back up, stack everything back up. We leave. This heifer leaves and comes back, but she stays in the driveway because I've been venting the entire appointment on purpose. So she stays in the driveway, and then we leave, and she goes in the house. Nola gets a contact from this ignorant motherfucker. He talking about, you didn't cut the boxes up, and this is the second time, and I asked you. He said third time, it wasn't. He said, I asked you to cut the boxes up, and you said, yeah. And so this is Nola's growth opportunity to hold his bitch ass personally accountable, and she does. She said, first of all, because she charged him a $50 moving the box fee in addition to the hours that we were there, as she should. And so she said, first of all, I hurt my back moving these boxes. One box was 200 pounds. And I told you that before I realized that all the boxes had to be moved to the back. So that's why the boxes didn't get cut up. Plus, you had a whole nother set of 2 rocking chairs and a table. So your order wasn't even right. So then he says, well, I would have preferred, you should have contacted me. She said, you should have had better contact with the person that was there. I was in contact with the person that you told me to be in contact with. So he pays, and then he says, and you're running, get this, y'all, this bitch motherfucker. Now, I was trying to call him back. Nola said, no, I can't call him and fucking cuss his bitch ass out, but I was going to. He gonna tell Nola, you're running a business and you need to do a better job of running your business because this is unacceptable, or some bullshit like that. Now, his caregiver wasn't there. She left. She wasn't there the whole time. This motherfucker, no door in the house works. To get in the house, to get to the back of the gate, the sliding gates, or nothing else. When you walk on the side of the house, there's dog shit on the side of the house, and she ain't did nothing she was supposed to. But he gonna try to give her business advice. So the 4th dimension is gonna handle him because God said, don't touch my anointed. But what is the moral of this motherfucking story? The moral of the story is, y'all got motherfucking losers in your lives that's fucking your whole life up. My cousin is at the wrong fucking SEC school. And this motherfucker about to lose plenty of business because she ain't taking care of shit. And she's supposed to be managing his Airbnbs that are here. She had laundry and shit all on the floor. The towels that's supposed to go, they was in bags. But still, the towels that's supposed to go to the houses and all that shit, she fucked all that up. And he ain't paid attention to none of it. And I like that it's dropping off because you don't want to hear the fucking truth this morning, but you're going to hear the fucking truth this morning. So instead of holding the real people, the unaccountable motherfuckers in your life accountable, you want to keep holding the people that are accountable because you too chicken shit to hold the real bitches accountable. So that's why. So we're going to look at neurologically why you keep having a loserance. And that's a tolerance for losers in your life. So my cousin is at the wrong school. He not going to get game day prep or none of that because he at the wrong school. We'll see how that season goes. We kind of already know where it's going to go. He just lost, this other person just lost a 5-star tasker and 5-star assembler. And what's hilarious is that we were at the morning appointment and TaskRabbit started measuring a whole bunch of shit that Nola didn't know about. She gets a report. They measured her on 20 different key performance measures and she got 100% on all that shit. So while his bitch ass is talking, she got 1,200 5-star reviews. While he telling her she running a business and she need to do better. Bitch, that's when I lost it. And I'm like, oh no, give me the fucking phone. I'm about to read his ass like a fucking nursery rhyme. But it was her growth opportunity. She charged him the fee. She blocked him. He can't contact her no more. And that's what the fuck should happen. And so y'all have been on these lives and I have blocked people. And Regina, I know you're driving and it's 1150, whatever the fuck it is. It's about to be 1200. So there's still a whole bunch of fucking lot of damn 5-star reviews. This shit is over 1,000. So the point is, I've I've removed people from this live. There are people who are, y'all a whole new group of people, because this time last summer y'all wasn't here and it was another group of people here, and them motherfuckers is gone on purpose. Sabrina is no longer here. Jared is no longer here, because what I'm not gonna fucking do is keep a loser around me. If you don't want to do these principles of real leadership and you don't want to learn neuromobility, kick motherfucking rocks. Because at some point, your motherfucking losers is gonna come over here fucking with me. And y'all didn't pay attention to this, but Sabrina asked, every time she showed up, she had a fucking work complaint. Every time. This was going on at the job. So she turned this shit into a venting session. And Jared's ass want to keep typing in shit because he feel like he gonna be the moderator for the live, and I ain't asked neither one of them motherfuckers to do that, and neither one of them knew anything. Oh, okay, so I'm learning. No, the fuck you're not. You want some fucking company because you looking for some comfort because you scared of your own fucking fucked up shit show situation of a fucking life. And I didn't create it, I didn't cause it, I can't cure it, and I ain't about to fucking fix it. That's what's going on this morning. So yeah, Doctor, you feel like Dr. Donna is on one? She is. Because I'm sick of y'all keeping losers in y'all life and then bringing that shit over here. That's what this is about. On my lives. In my life. Because y'all too chicken shit to address the fucking elephant in the room. But neurologically, I'm going to tell you why it's happening. Because unlike everybody else, I know why you're doing it. So the moral of the story is this. One loser in your life, and Nola said this is Dr. Donna math. Real leader math. One loser in your life is 3 too many because they causing triple the amount of trouble. Triple the amount of trouble. So right now, just assess the losers in your life, the unaccountable people in your life, and what kind of shit show, precarious situation do you keep finding yourself in because you won't put your foot down and keep it down. Because you won't cut them the fuck off. Well, because they family. Well, because we've been friends for 30 years. Well, I've been at this job for 4. I walked away from a 6-figure job and said, fuck y'all on June 25th, 2010, and I ain't looked back. I walk the walk, I don't talk the walk. And so I don't fucking talk to nobody that knew me at all. All y'all are new. Nobody from my past got access to me past the email, AOL, dthomasrodgers@aol.com. And a few people got Dr. Donna95@gmail.com. And now none of them pick up the phone and call me and tell me shit because of this. So here this idiot is trying to tell my child how to run a 5-star business when his shit is falling apart. He ain't gonna, none of the doors work. How you gonna have people come stay at your house and that door work? And the caregiver that you got. And the big deal was because her ass is lazy and she don't want to cut no boxes up. So that's what that was about. We were, oh, by the way, it was 111 fucking degrees when she started yesterday. And it was 17 fucking pieces of furniture in direct sun contact. So he didn't say thank you or nothing. He worried about the fucking boxes because that's what the loser in his life is concerned with. Who you know gonna put together 17 pieces of furniture in less than 3 hours in direct sun contact and leave. And your house is left us in the house and everything is perfect and fine. Box everything back up and put the one trash bag on top of it and leave in less than 3 hours. Who y'all know that's gonna do that shit? Nobody, right? Exactly. So this motherfucker fucked around and found out. Fucked around on the wrong guy doggone day and found out. And that's what you need to do. You need to be able to walk away. I told y'all yesterday the shit is $30 because I don't give a fuck if you don't come back. You ain't about to be holding me. Oh, well, because, and I'm paying her $1,000, so she better fuck you and your $30. Get the fuck on. Because what you're not going to do is be a loser over here fucking up my shit, blowing up my spot, to quote Biggie Smalls. We're not doing that. We're not doing that shit at all on no day of the motherfucking week. So you need to assess all the people in your life, everybody that got contact with you, and assess your loserance, your tolerance for their nonsense and their bullshit. Why? Because it's hurting you. My cousin is not going to have a great year. It's not going to happen. If in 5 years, he ain't never been on a losing team, but he about to find out what that feels like. Guaranteed. They're not going to do well this year at all because he won't stand up to his mama. This motherfucker will never have another 5-star doggone person do anything in his business ever again because it's some lazy woman that must, I'm not going to, okay, thank you, I ain't going to say that, because of who this young lady is in his life. So we're going to talk about avoiding holding people accountable and why you can't do it. And don't act like you are, because you're not. All y'all got at least one person that's getting away with shit because of something. Because if they, and they done fell on hard times. And they said, okay, you at your best because you connected to them? Or are you not at your best? Does any cortisol come up when you see their name, when you interact with them or any point at all? Because if they do, they're a loser. And you lose them. And you're going to lose more because what they're going to do is hold you because of cognitive dissonance. They going to hold you accountable when their whole fucking life is falling apart. Why? Because in order for you to hold yourself personally accountable, you got to have self-reflection. You actually got to look at yourself and change. So they ain't going to change shit. Unaccountable people are real good at identifying everything that's fucked up and wrong with you and you need to fix while they sit highfalutin in their shit show of a life acting like ain't nothing wrong. Because to do that would mean that they got to fix something. And their self-image, the big ass ego that they got with low confidence and low self-esteem will never have them go within. Will never. My mother called me a mean, venomous, horrible person and told me that she ain't never going to read another one of my emails because she married a pervert. And it's easier to attack me than to look at herself and the perverted motherfucker that she married. So I'm the issue. No, I'm not. Absolutely not. And when he told Nola that she needed to look and get a better business model, the motherfucker was looking in the mirror because ain't shit wrong with this business model because I made it. I made that shit. It's too many people. Oh my God, you're so professional. Oh my God, I was worried about them, but can you do this? Can you? Oh, I wish you knew how to do it. Because do y'all know anybody good? Because that's what's happening. So what did I do this morning since I changed from cognitive dissonance and cognitive fitness? Here's what I did. I went on 2 different search engine platforms, Grok and AI, and I went to Grok first. And here's the question that I asked Grok: what regions of the brain are impacted when you avoid holding people accountable? What regions of the brain? Because I know this is neurological. It's 1000% neurological. So let's see what Grok had to say this morning. I'm going to put my glasses on so you will know. And I can see properly. Waiting on it to load. Okay. So Grok said, avoiding holding people personally accountable. Watch this sentence, y'all. Doesn't directly correspond to specific brain regions in the way physical or cognitive tasks do, but it involves complex social and emotional processes that engage multiple brain areas. Based on neuroscience research, the decision to avoid accountability likely involves the prefrontal cortex, the amygdala, the anterior cingulate cortex, the insula, and the default mode network. Now, these regions interact in a network balancing emotional, social, and moral considerations. For example, avoiding accountability might reflect an overactive amygdala, so fear of conflict, and overriding the prefrontal cortex impulses to enforce fairness. However, there is no direct study isolating avoiding accountability to specific brain regions. This is inferred from related social and emotional behaviors. Grok then says, if you want, I can search for more specific studies or analyze related content to refine this. Let me know. So I told Grok, yeah, what regions of the brain? So then I said, yeah, give me some deep research. Now, anybody who knows, who's used chat or Grok, it gets the answer quickly. So what Grok said was, there is no direct research for this. That's problem number 1. Motherfuckers ain't even looking for it. So if you're not looking for it, guess what you're not going to do? Find it. But I'm going to grab some stuff from these social things, these social constructs, and I'm put something together for you, Doc. I said, all right, cool, bet. It took Grok 3 minutes and 41 seconds to find me some information that I asked for. Can you do a deep dive on the brain regions that are impacted when people avoid holding other people accountable? I don't know if anybody has ever used AI at all. It don't take 3 minutes and 41 seconds for something as simple as this. Coding, maybe physics or something. 3 minutes and 41 seconds that Grok spent trying to find me an answer to a question that normally takes less than 30 seconds, maybe a minute. And what happens is they delivered it. They talked about the amygdala, the cingulate gyrus, and all of that. And they even gave me a chart. But the summation is that the only thing that they have is research from July 17th. And it suggests that holding people personally accountable likely impacts the prefrontal cortex, the ventromedial prefrontal cortex, the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, the orbital frontal cortex, and the medial prefrontal cortex, the amygdala, the cingulate gyrus, the insula, the temporal lobes, and the temporal parietal junction, hippocampus, all of these things. But they couldn't really give me an answer. And they went through 48 web pages. So what is the story, ladies and gentlemen? What is the moral of the story? People ain't focused on holding other people personally accountable because the shit is hard. I'm not going to hold you personally accountable because then that means I got to hold me personally accountable. And some days I want to fuck up. Some days I don't want to be at my best. So as a result of that, I'm going to let you off the hook because in the future, you're going to let me off the hook. And that's why we got over 6.8 billion adults fucking the world up by the nanosecond because all y'all letting each other off the hook. And then you come over here and I'm not letting you off the hook. Pop off in my comments and you getting blocked. Don't hold yourself personally accountable and you no longer have access to me. Set and maintain high standards is one of the 74 principles of real leadership for a reason. Be the best is one of the 74 principles of real leadership for a reason. The number one principle of real leadership is to hold yourself and others personally accountable. So if it took Grok saying, yeah, they really don't have no research about that, Doc, let me go ahead and see. 3 minutes and 41 seconds to pull together 48 websites and still say likely, maybe, it ain't really based upon neuroscience. I don't really know, but here go an answer. Maybe that's the reason why. Y'all ain't holding people personally accountable. And the people that's doing the research ain't even concerned with it. So the next time you find yourself saying, why did they? Because ain't nobody looking at holding nobody personally accountable but over here. This small little island called the land of real leaders. And the rest of y'all letting shit fly. So how many of y'all are at the wrong college? How many of y'all just lost a 5-star service person because you don't want to hold your person that's running your business in Las Vegas personally accountable? How much shit you done missed out on from being a chicken shit? And not holding the people around you personally accountable. Ooh, 4 people just dropped off the live. If you can't say amen, exit the stage left. How many? How many years, how many decades have you been sitting in a shit show because you a chicken shit? Neurologically. So if there ain't even enough research for it, you know it ain't happening. But what is happening is a bunch of blaming. What is happening is a bunch of fucking finger pointing. Again, bend the wrist ain't happening. Bend the wrist ain't happening. This person told my child she need to update her business model and his shit is falling apart by the nanosecond. The unmitigated gall. But that feels better than dealing with the fuck you got to deal with. My cousin could potentially have a red shirt year because his mother, who doesn't have a college degree, picked the wrong school. And because he can't stand up to her and hold her accountable, he is at the wrong school. You might be at the wrong job. You might be married to the wrong person or the wrong gender because you are too afraid to hold people personally accountable. And I get it. It took me almost 49 years to sever the ties from my manipulating ass, drug addicted mother and her fucking pervert ass husband and my hoe of a sister, but I did it. And I'm telling you, don't wait. And I'm telling you neurologically, I'm about to tell you neurologically what you can do. And I'm going to give you activities. Because unlike the thought leaders and the rest of the motherfuckers in the world trying to teach you about the brain, but not really, I'm going to tell you how you can fix this. I'm going to tell you that even though Grok didn't have an answer for me, guess who actually did? ChatGPT, the homie. So I didn't stop there because how many of you would have actually stopped and said, damn, ain't no research. This is all we got. Ain't no activities. Ain't nobody looking this up. Well, that's not good. Guess I'm going to have to talk about something else. Not me, not today, because I will not be dismayed. I will get the answer, especially when it comes to your brain, because I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of being on the receiving end. I'm sick of motherfuckers coming in. Now, hey, Doc, I'm back. I'm ready to hold myself personally accountable. Sounds like a personal problem to me. You won't be doing it over here. You won't be doing it over here. Kevin mentioned yesterday that I was happy on the live, and I had to let him know that that's because there was no unaccountable people on the live. And you can't be happy and jovial when you got unaccountable people in the midst. You cannot. I cannot. Because I got to hold your dumb ass personally accountable in order for me to even get a lecture learning environment across. But I will not tolerate it. I will be over here with 7 people on my live, but we will be over here and be personally accountable. Because on other people's lives, you can pop off, you can act a fool, you can do whatever you want. And as long as you pay your stupid ass fee, you can stay with thee. But that shit don't fly with me. Absolutely not. So for all of my life, you just too hard. You trying over here, you gonna run everybody away. I am. I'm gonna run every fucking unaccountable person away every day. Shoo, vamonos. Exit stage left. I absolutely am. Because what you're not gonna do is stop greatness. What you're not gonna do is be the reason why I don't get a Nobel Prize for my work. Because we what? Friends? Because you like me? The third point that I have before I get into the lesson is this. I have a subscriber on TikTok who's been reaching out to me and saying things, and she keeps sending me negative videos. And so yesterday I checked her and said, I don't want to see any more of these videos. This is negativity bias. And it's also external anxiety. And neurologically, I will not be participating. You have 2 options. You can stay over there and be negative and be unaccountable, or you can start holding yourself personally accountable, start attending the lives, and start being in a 30-day challenge. That's what you can do. But I'm not here for that. I don't participate in that. I'm not wiring my brain to that bullshit because it doesn't work. It doesn't work. And that's why, even though I have 3,100 YouTube subscribers and 14,000 Instagram subscribers and 12,000 TikTok and 4,000 on X, almost like 40,000, the numbers are low. Because it ain't got shit to do with me. It got everything to do with you. And she even told me when I first saw you, I didn't like you. I didn't like what you were saying because it made me uncomfortable. Good. You need to be uncomfortable. I'm stepping on that raggedy ass pinky toe with a corn on it because somebody needs to check you. I'm holding you personally accountable because that's the number 1 principle of real leadership. Hold yourself and others personally accountable. That's what this is about today. And if you don't want to be personally accountable, kick rocks. I don't do anything for likes. Okay? I'm not over here like, look at me like a goddamn fool so you can like me, share, like, and subscribe because I bet you're going to be back tomorrow. What? No. We're not doing that dumb shit over here. You want to be entertained, there's 1,000 millions of other YouTube channels and everywhere else for that. You need a dopamine boost. I'm not your pusher, man. That's not what I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you the real deal holy feeling. If you don't like how you feel, I don't really give a fuck. Somebody need to start telling you the truth. It's you, boo-boo. Fix you first. You is your fucking problem. And your chicken shit inability to hold the losers in your life personally accountable. That's what the fuck is wrong with your life. It ain't the government. It ain't 47. It ain't Congress. It ain't the Senate. It's you. It's you. It's you. It's you, oh Lord. Standing in the need to be personally accountable. You the problem. And your loserance is the problem. But I'm about to help you. So unlike doggone, what is this? Grok. And no disrespect to Grok, but chat came through. So I asked chat the same question. And chat's answer was this. Avoiding holding people accountable engages several regions of the brain tied to conflict avoidance. Number 1 answer. Ding, 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 ding. Number 1 answer. Emotional regulations. That means your ass is being ran all over the place by your doggone amygdala. And social cognition. So here's a breakdown. So the brain regions are the ACC, the anterior cingulate cortex, and its function is that it detects conflict and monitors errors. So impact when avoiding accountability. So this is what's happening to your brain neurologically when you start avoiding your losers in your life, the unaccountables. Its under activation reduces discipline to address interpersonal tension. So you're not going to address it. Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm gonna tell her she need to cut the boxes instead of holding this heifer personally accountable. I'm gonna avoid my mom, and I'm okay with not talking to y'all because I can't stand up to my mama. Yeah, okay. Dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, and this is the executive function, the decision making and assertiveness in your brain is in the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex. So what happens is when you avoid holding people accountable, guess what? There is less engagement and it leads to indecision and avoidance behaviors. So for however long you've been interacting with these unaccountable people, now you develop these avoidance behaviors and they sit in the basal ganglia because that's where the habits are. And so now, every time she start yelling, I ain't gonna say nothing. Every time I go over here and they do this, I'm not gonna do anything. So now you didn't develop this whole new set of avoidance behaviors and you can't make better decisions because you're trying to make sure you got your avoidance behavior on. The next one is the amygdala. And so it processes fears, threats, and emotional assailants. So now what you have is overactivation increases fear of confrontation and negative judgment. So if they say, see what your problem is, you think you the smartest motherfucker you know. Okay, well, I'm avoid being smart. I'm gonna keep you around because I love you because you fine. And yeah, I'm just gonna be stupid around you. I had somebody tell me that. Yeah. So now you are over here, you don't want negative judgment. So you're just going to do whatever they say because you don't want them with that left amygdala. Because remember, when the left amygdala is talking shit and you in your default mode network in your downtime, all you doing is ruminating over the fuck what these unaccountable people said. That's why it's so powerful, because you just keep thinking about it, Well, I don't want them to say this. Well, I don't want them, because what if they say? Because what if they say? If you ever found yourself saying, well, what if they say this? And I'm just going to avoidance behavior that you have programmed yourself. So they ain't even got to program you no more. You programmed yourself to avoid holding their dumb asses personally accountable. My stupid ass mother fucked around. I was taking a year off and she tried to gaslight me and said, bring me my motherfucking keys. And boy, did I bring her motherfucking keys. And that is the last time she physically saw me, May 5th, 2022. I brought her motherfucking keys. And I've already said that story. I sure did, because she thought that tactic was going to work. But I had already made a decision on November 8th, 2021, that I was done. Already made it. And so she was 6 months later thinking, oh, no, you don't. No, you don't. You confused. I had 180 days to ruminate and strategize. And so I did. Yes, I sure did. And I will say this, I left having my wig held in my hand. Well, actually, my daughter picked my wig up. So next is the ventromedial prefrontal cortex. And so it regulates social emotions like guilt and empathy. These motherfuckers out here trying to make you feel bad, and they ain't shit. They ain't shit. And they can't confront they ain't shitness, so they're going to make you feel bad. External anxiety, which we did a whole live about that. So what's going to happen with your avoidance is you're going to rationalize your avoidance and prioritize harmony over correction. Rationalize your avoidance and prioritize harmony over correction. My cousin just, he a nice guy, he just wanted peace. He was like, it's easier to stop talking to them than confront her, so I'm going to avoid that at all costs. No, I'm going to pop the fuck off. Come on my live talking shit, bitch, you get what you get. Don't start none, won't be none. Air and opportunity. I might just block you. I might drag you, read you like a nursery rhyme, and then block you, just depending on the doggone situation and what the fuck your dumb ass said. I don't give a fuck. I'm a gangster Christian. I'm a gangster nerd. I'm from Detroit, 313, Linwood, and Woodrow Wilson. Okay? So I'm not that nice thought leader that's going to, oh my God, let's just work through that shit. No, because motherfucker, you the chicken shit. Coming over here talking shit to me when your whole world is falling the fuck apart. Absolutely not. So you trying to create harmony. I'm trying to create disharmony. I'm trying to fucking incite a fucking fire under your ass so you can get rid of these losing ass motherfuckers and become your best. And you over here want some docility. That ain't me. I'm not docile. I'm not, oh my goodness. No, I'm going to say, tell them motherfuckers, move, bitch. Get out the way. You in my way. Move. And if you ain't got the neurological strength to do that shit, then you need to be over here instead of over there. But they trained you like a little motherfucking circus animal. And now you just jumping through fire rings and hoops and everything else. Higa! You over here just doing all kind of dumb fucking circus tricks. Now, the next one is the temporal junction, the temporal parietal junction, the TBJ, and what TPJ. And so it's perspective taking and understanding others' intentions. And so what happens is you can overemphasize, leading to reluctance to challenge others. They got you over here looking like a doggone toothless saber-toothed tiger. You ain't about to do it. You ain't about to challenge shit. Because now your amygdala is running shit. And here we go for the people who are just now watching. Your brain weighs 3 pounds. The amygdala's together weighs grams. So this is an almond. And this amygdala right here got your whole ass scary as shit when your prefrontal cortex is much, 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 much bigger. But you have turned into a toothless saber-toothed tiger, and you just sitting there getting smoked every single day. And then the last region is the insula. And so it's interoceptives. It's basically awareness and internal emotional status. And what happens is you have heightened sensitivity to discomfort, and that's going to trigger your avoidance. Now, the hemispheres that's impacted by this, both right and left, is that the right hemisphere is more involved in emotional processing, empathy, and social context. And its overactivation may lead to excessive worries about other people's feelings or fear of rejection. So they over here gaslighting you, making you feel like shit, holding you accountable to a higher ass standard while they sit in their comfort zone and don't do shit. And you worried about them and their feelings and if they're going to reject you. I make that make neurological sense. Because it don't. It don't make no neurological sense. That's why Grok says social. We can't attach it to the brain because it's insane. Because the amygdala is running shit, and the amygdala, the right amygdala, don't make no rational decisions at all. That's not its job. The right amygdala's job is to inform you of an actual threat. Hey, there's danger over there. But that motherfucker is running shit. And that's why it's always stupid. That's why you can't watch this, ladies and gentlemen. You can't never please an unaccountable person. Why? Because they're being ran by their fucking right amygdala, and it's liable to say or do anything. As soon as you get your behavior over here, okay, I'm gonna do like this, I ain't gonna say nothing. They popping off about something brand new. Bro, brand new. Because guess what else happens? When the right amygdala is in charge, fight, flight, freeze, or appease. And every time you freeze, appease, and you don't fight back, guess what they do? They get motherfucking stronger, and they come back at your ass with more of a vengeance than they had before, because they getting the dopamine boost from it. And they're like, oh, let me go. I'm going to go ham again. Oh, I'm about to get him again. And then the right amygdala's like, hell yeah, go get that dopamine. Hell yeah, yell at them again. Tell them they ugly. Tell them they stupid. Tell them, dare them, double dog dare them to say some shit. And you over here like this. And then they want to come back and be nice after they got their dopamine boost. What's wrong with you? Excuse me, you crazy motherfucker. What you mean? What's wrong with me? You is what's wrong with me. But you got strength because you can wire your brain to use your prefrontal cortex up there. And then you ain't going to have no problems. When you use your whole brain, this is what's happening. Look at the left and the bottom. So this is what's happening in the regions of your brain that are being impacted when you don't hold people personally accountable. That's what's happening to you neurologically, even though in theory, the research don't say that. The left hemisphere is associated with logic, language, and direct communication. And underactivation may reduce your assertiveness and clarity in expressing your expectations. So what does that mean, Dr. Donna? Unaccountable people love to hijack your amygdala because they live in a hijacked amygdala state, hardwired by negativity bias. So they always gonna keep you on edge. Their objective is for you to not access your prefrontal cortex and not access the left hemisphere of your brain because you can't process what the fuck they're doing because you always scared. So you got this damn cortisol going on and you can't make no rational decisions because the right amygdala gives you notification, threat, shuts down access to your prefrontal cortex, gives you cortisol and says, we got to go seek safety. So you doing appeasing, frightened, and freezing. What do you want me to do? Okay, I'm going to do it. All right, just stop yelling at me. Stop yelling. You have cut off access to your personality, your working memory, your inhibition control, your executive function, your cognitive flexibility. You ain't got access to none of that. If you ever watch a scary movie, we all say, don't go in there. Ain't shit in there. And they fall down. Oh my God. Oh God. And now they can't pick up a branch. You like, pick up the branch. Hit them with nothing. Because it has shut down all logic, all access to reason, cognitive problem solving. You can't do none of that. And every time you see them, every time you think about them, now they up here and out here. And all you just want to do is appease. Please be personally accountable. So you're not going to tell your mama you're not going to that school. You're not going to tell the person running your property that you fucking up. But me, I'm going to say it. I'm going to tell you. It might have took 49 years for my mama, but it didn't take 49 years for nobody else. I didn't cut many a person off and didn't know neurologically while I was doing it, but I know now. You're not about to be hijacking my amygdala. You're not about to not have me making my brain not operate 100% because you too chicken shit to deal with your own shit. So think of all the unaccountable people, and every time they don't hold, so this person is holding my daughter accountable. And now imagine if my daughter wasn't me, and now she gonna come home and yell at a family member, and this shit is gonna be contagious because that's what's happening. Everybody living with a hijacked ass amygdala because they won't hold themselves personally accountable, fix their defects of character, and stand up to their fucking saber-tooth tigers. So you're just passing it around, and everybody got that one person. They're like, oh no, they super strong, and then here come this little 5-foot abuela with a chancla in her hand. Now everybody like, oh my God, this abuela, running all over the place. That's the fucking problem. You are avoiding it. So Dr. Donna, what's the summary? Avoiding accountability conversations can cause increased anxiety due to an overactive amygdala and insula. It's suppressed executive control. I just said you're not going to have access to your dorsolateral prefrontal cortex. You're going to have weakened conflict resolution circuits. And we know handle conflict when it occurs is one of the 74 principles of real leadership. And you are going to have excess empathy leading to passivity. So you're going to become extremely passive behind this bullshit. That's what's going to happen. You're going to become, because if you ever seen somebody in a horrible relationship with somebody at a terrible job, you're like, what the fuck happened to you? Why are you acting like a punk now? You were so strong. What's going on? Because they are allowing an unaccountable person they're avoiding the conversations that they need to have. And I'm going to tell you a story. And I think I said this, my ex-husband going to tell me he leaving, this not working for him. And I got down on my knees and at his feet and begged him to stay like a stupid bitch. I sure did. And God intervened. And my little 1-year-old baby stood up in her playpen with her binky in her mouth and held on and looked at me like this. And I looked over at her and I said, oh, hell no. Abso-fucking-lutely not. You can go. You can go. And I ain't look back. I ain't look back. It was one of the best decisions I ever made in my life. This motherfucker had me looking bad. I got photos. I look like a doggone South African ambassador, and there's no disrespect to them, but that ain't me. I'm wearing Walmart underwear and body spray. This motherfucker got on $1,500 scratch resistant Movado watches, diamonds, pulling up in his S-Class Benz, and my ass looking like the help behind that shit. Never again. Never again. Never again. They stay out of the mouths of babes. And she wasn't even talking. I was like, oh, shit. Okay. Snap out of it, Doc. Fuck him. Ain't looked back. Life is bigger than a fucking husband. I'll tell you that much. So what questions do you have before I get into the activities for you to start holding these motherfuckers personally accountable by the nanosecond? Because I, unlike any of these other people, have actual real solutions that's actually going to work. So we can put an end to this dumb shit. If you're thinking ... If it's clear, I need something. I need to know what the hell is going on. There's 7 activities that you can do to build your accountability resilience. Everybody like it's clear. Y'all scared? Nobody want to say shit? Like, whew. Yep. But hey, everybody's still walking around breathing. So we're good to go. Because I was quite angry last night when he said your business model. He didn't say that you're running a business. Bitch, so are you. Okay. Neuroscience-based activities to build accountability resilience. And that's what you're going to need. That's what you're going to need. Number 1 is cognitive reappraisal training. So the brain target region is your ventral medial prefrontal cortex and your amygdala. How are you going to do this? You're going to practice reframing difficult situations. Instead of thinking they'll get upset, fuck them. That's me, not Rock. Reframe it as holding them accountable helps me grow. Y'all might want to write that down. They're going to get upset. They're going to be mad at me. Oh my God. They're going to yell. They're going to fuck them. Holding them accountable helps me grow. Nola said it yesterday. I now understand why you said 1 loser is 3 too many. Look at all the problems this heifer is causing. Look at all the problems. So holding them accountable helps me grow. And the frequency you're going to do this is 3 to 5 times a week. And what this does, the effect is that it reduces emotional threat and guilt, increasing clarity and courage. So they're using you against you. Your empathy that they made you have to have for them, they're using you again. How you gonna do this to me? How you gonna leave me right now? How you go? You know I'm having hard times. You know I'm doing the best that I can, and I don't. Fuck you. If your life is a shit show, that shit is on you. If you got to take shit from somebody else and you chose to do that shit, then so be it. My no longer friend stayed in an abusive marriage because they remodeled their kitchen and she didn't want to leave the house, even though I had black mold in the basement. I took her ass to an Al-Anon meeting when I was there the last time I saw her, and she was on her way to divorce court, and them motherfuckers was back together. I said, well, fuck you. I ain't talking to you no more. That's for damn sure, because I'm not going to hear about it. I told your ass to leave. I gave you a program that you need to be in. Here go the meetings. Here go the days that they meet. And your ass was in there crying and saying, I'm going to change. And next thing I know, y'all back together again and celebrating in some island somewhere for his birthday. You talking about, I love you, honey bunny. Dumbass. So no, they're going to make you feel bad. But you feel bad either way. How bad do you want to feel? You got to ask yourself which way. Do I want to feel bad for a minute and say fuck them and let that dissipate? Or do I want to keep feeling bad until the day after I'm no longer here? Weigh the pros and cons of that shit. Because at 5 days shy of my 49th birthday, enough was enough. I had almost 50 years worth of receipts. And that shit wasn't getting no better. And I don't know how long I got left, but I tell you what, I won't be living it with y'all. I know that much. I know if I got 7 days left, it's going to be 7 days loser free. And that was 3 years ago. So what I'm not going to do is keep putting up with that at all. So that emotional guilt shit, fuck them. They don't give a fuck about you. Don't give a fuck about them. And I don't quote Drake often. Really, ever. Number 2, assertive communication script. So the brain target is the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex and the left hemisphere, because that's where the language exists. That's where all that ruminating from that dumb shit that they told you exists. So how? You're going to write and practice saying scripts like, I noticed this wasn't completed. Can you help me understand what happened? And for me, all I wanted to do was sit down with my stepfather, my sister, and my mother and say, who abused you? Because all of y'all abused me in different ways. So help me help you. Now, as the abusee and the youngest, ain't no way I'm supposed to be sitting down with the abusers to say, you know what? God told me to help y'all. So who hurt y'all? Because hurt people hurt people. Who the fuck hurt y'all? So, because that's what I did first. Hey, y'all did all this shit, but we can all sit down. We all senior citizens. Let's all sit down and address this before we go to our graves. Nobody. That's the email my mother responded to and told me that I was a mean, venomous, horrible person and that she was never going to read another one of my emails again because I told all their business to each other and embarrassed the shit out of all 3 of them. But hey, if you're ready to get real, you go to heal, you got to get real. And nobody wanted to talk about their skeletons in their closets, as if the email didn't occur, because that's easier. Call me the person. I'm the evil villain. After decades of abuse, I'm the evil villain. I didn't lock me in the closet at 5 years old and tell me I was adopted and beat the shit out of me. I didn't do that to myself. My sister did, but we can't talk about that, and I need to let that go. No, why did you do it? I'm going to hold y'all accountable. You want me back in your life, everybody going to start opening up. Because what makes you expose yourself and masturbate and everything else in front of me for 4 years and talking about you thought I was going to join in? The fuck? You ain't even my type. Number one, and ew. Absolutely not. We can't talk about that. Why did you take my pain pills when I needed them for after my surgery and you used them to get high? Why we can't talk about that? How am I an evil, mean, venomous person? See the gaslighting that takes place? You just won't let that go. I sure won't. My brain ain't letting it go because it don't have closure for that shit. So let's talk about help me understand why you keep hurting me every time I'm around you. So that's the script. I know chat was nice, but I ain't fucking nice because the shit that's happening to you ain't nice. So what you're going to do is strengthen the language and logic pathways to reduce the avoidance. So say whatever the fuck you got to say and keep saying it. Like ABC 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Why the fuck y'all keep hurting me? That's what you need to do. Say it over and over and over again until it comes out like it's your name. Because you can't keep staying around them. Or you ain't going to bring that shit over here. Number 3 is conflict simulation writing. So what you're going to do, the brain target is at the ACC and the temporal parietal junction. And how? You're going to visualize a situation where you need to hold someone accountable. And then you're going to write both perspectives and how you will handle it directly. So you're going to do your part, you're going to do their part or their heirs part. And then how should it be handled? And what this does is it enhances your empathy without avoidance and boosts your confidence tolerance. Okay? Because right now you got a loserance, which means you are very accepting of losers and all their stupidness that they bring. And now what you got to do is get your conflict tolerance up. That's what you got to do. Because I don't give a fuck who you are. I will handle conflict when it occurs and where the fuck it occurs. And you get what you get. Hopefully you get the tactful version of me, because exercise tact is one of the 74 principles of real leadership. And maybe you will and maybe you won't. Number 4 is interoceptive awareness mediation. And this brain target is for the insula. And how you're going to do this is this 10-minute daily body scan and meditation to notice internal signals, tensions. The other day I said Nola had her fist. We watching, eating dinner, and her fist is tight. Like, what the hell is going on with your fist? I was all kind of clenched teeth yesterday at 8:30 p.m. I used motherfucker probably every other word that I was saying because of how angry I was at this idiot. I'm like, oh, so you can't hold her personally accountable? Because I went in the house to pee, and Nola she said, where you going? I said, I gotta pee. But she had already left anyway. Because I saw her little ass when I first got there. I said I could snap this heifer's neck and put her on the bed. Nobody would ever know. I didn't, but I thought about it. Anyway, effect. It increases emotional self-awareness, critical for staying composed during hard conversations. And so when you have that, when you just going to do a body scan, you're going to say, I'm standing my prefrontal cortex. I'm standing my prefrontal cortex. I'm going to have this conversation. You can look in the mirror. You can put on the outfit that you're going to have on when you say it. You can hold your phone if you're going to be on your phone and practice saying it and looking at the person, whatever you need to do so that you have this awareness and you're not tense. Because remember, an unaccountable person's responsibility is to throw you off your square because they don't want to deal with their shit. So they already have a hijacked amygdala. The last thing they're going to do is go within. They don't want to go within because they're going to have to address their saber-toothed tiger. So it's easier to just make you feel bad so they don't have to feel bad and confront what's taking place in their own lives. Because he needed to handle her. My cousin needed to stand up to his mama. I had to do it. He got to do it. Because you're not going to get to your best because that's going to be gnawing at you. Because you're still over here appeasing them and thinking about them. No, I got to do that. I can't do this. I can't do this. So imagine if I had still been talking to my mother and her husband and my sister, then I don't have neuropability. I don't have brain t-shirts. I don't come out as a nerd because they over here still fucking with me because they think I'm little Dee Dee living on Glendale. And I'm not. I'm fucking Dr. Donna. I'm 52 motherfucking years old. And now no contact. And that's their loss, not mine. Next is decision-making drills. That's number 6. Brain target is the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex and the anterior cingulate cortex. So how? You're going to set a timer for 30 seconds and practice making quick, low-stake decisions. Meal choices and emails. Just real quick. Bam, bam. I'll make this. What I'm about to do. Check this email. I'm going to send this message. I'm post it on social media. Very quick decisions. And what happens is it builds decisiveness and your prefrontal confidence needed for directness. That's what's happening because, again, your goal is to stay in your prefrontal cortex. Your goal is to do that. And so when they show up and now you have to hold them personally accountable, be ready for whatever. Because when I had to go confront my mother and my stepfather, I told my daughter, pull up to the next house. She knew something was wrong because I didn't want her to have to sit somewhere and say, well, what I saw was you didn't see shit. You saw me walk up to the front door. Not you saw me leave and get out the car. Got a master's degree in criminal justice for a reason. You go that way. Plausible deniability. That's what you about to have. Because I'm about to go handle these motherfuckers one way or another. They're gonna find out. That's what's gonna happen. So it builds you up for your directness to have this conversation. I changed my phone number and didn't give it to him. I was ready. My mother texted my daughter. Why she ain't changed her number and all this I already knew because in her adult life, she ain't never not had my phone number until then. That was the first thing that I needed to do. No contact. You're not sending me a text message for anything. Now she's pissed. And since then, my preferred method of communication is email. If you like to contact me, you can email me. That in her mind turned into she ain't talking to nobody. Well, you are correct. But if you actually want to contact me, send me an email because they don't want to do that because that's evidence. And you can't manipulate me if you got to type and spell check and do a subject line and all that. So I've made you uncomfortable. But you've made me uncomfortable for almost 49 years. So let's switch the style up. Let's switch this game up. Turn this shit on your head. And now it's like, well, damn, the way we manipulated her, we can't manipulate her no more. Yep, absolutely. Now what? Now who's in control? Me. Number 7. So the post-accountability reflection practice. And your brain target is your ventral medial prefrontal cortex and your temporal parietal junction. And so how? After holding someone accountable, reflect. After you do that shit, reflect on what happened. What emotions came up for you? When I finally stood up to my mother and I finally slapped the motherfucking shit out of my stepfather, it felt good. Slapped and punched, I sure did. And I still didn't feel vindicated, but I felt relief. Finally, everybody knows the whole story. Finally, we're going to solve this. What went well? My point got across. I made my point and I severed ties. I finally had a closure moment. And how will I grow from this? Look at me 3 years later. I'm a nerd. I've come out as a gangster nerd. I know about the neural pathways, and all is well here on our side of town. And then what effect this is going to reinforce positive meaning and social emotional learning. So I'm here to tell you that you too can do it. So when you say, you don't understand, I had a crazy mom. My mama crazy as hell. I'm going to tell y'all a story about how crazy my mother is. And I think I may have said this before. When I was in high school, I got home from high school. It was the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. And we had our furniture. We had a love seat, a couch, and then a chair with an ottoman. And that chair with that ottoman, you could take a good nap. So nobody was at home. And I just came home and took a nap. I was tired. I was happy that we had 4 days off from school. And I wake up to a stench. And I look above the chair and I said, where you been? And my mother says, jail. And I said, why were you in jail? And she said, because she was always getting pulled over for a ticket, always driving fast. And she said, I got arrested. And I said, what did you do? Well, I hit a cop. Why did you hit a cop? Well, I didn't hit him. I hit him with the door. Got it. Okay, fine. So the cop pulls her over and tells her to get out the car. She hits him with the damn door because she's mad because she can't come home and take her shower and watch her shit on the news and shit on TV. So she gets arrested. And now my Uncle Clifford on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, rest in peace, has to go pick her ass up because she has assaulted a police officer. That's who this lady is. Okay? That's who she is. She just stood up to drug dealers with a tire iron. Wonder where I got that from. In the laundromat and on 7 Mile in Detroit and told this motherfucker, I will beat your ass. I don't give a fuck who you are in the streets. So this is who this lady was. This is who I stood up to. Crazy as hell. Little boy, when I was 5 years old, smacked me in my face. She goes upstairs and gets the double barrel shotgun and tries to shoot the little 5-year-old. So she crazy. Okay? She don't know karate, but she know crazy. Literally crazy as hell. Okay, when that football player assaulted me at school, she called my uncle. She put a sawed-off shotgun in her trench coat and said, we got to go get her. So she crazy as hell, 100%. And that's who I had to stand up to. So, and yes, I did. And I went over there with vengeance because I ain't never stood up to her before like that ever, because I'm crazy too. I might be a little bit more because I got a little bit more physicality than they do at this point. So my point is this. You are going to reflect. You need to hold people personally accountable because it's stopping you. It's stopping you. It's not stopping them because they're not working on themselves. But you, my friends, are. You are working on yourself. And so you need to stand up to those people or you're going to continue to not be able to access your best. You are going to continue to freeze and appease them and make all these concessions about your behavior because of them. And who the fuck are they for you to not be at your best? They're a bunch of chicken shits because when I finally said, give me my motherfucking keys, she did like this because she knew it was over. It was over. And when she didn't help me beat the shit out of my stepfather, it was really over. Because I said, oh, you really picking him. Okay, bet. We're done. Done. I'm your namesake. But all right, bet. No problem. I'm the reason why y'all got married because 3 months before the wedding is when this pervy ass motherfucker started his antics. I didn't blow up your spot, but you picked him so you can stay with him forever, ever, forever, ever, forever, ever. Yes, you can. And I'm done with everybody. So that's all I got for y'all today. I got 3 questions for you. I don't have no more lessons, but the 3 questions for you today are, what did you learn today? What did you learn about yourself? And how does your brain feel? Those are the 3 questions. ... brain, emoji to let me know that you are here and you are thinking. And for you visitors, go ahead and step out today. For the ones who just keep fucking coming back and not answering questions, do yourself a favor today and answer the damn questions. Because y'all really getting on my nerves. This fucking looking and liking bullshit. I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm gonna just see what she talking about today. I've been talking. What the fuck you been doing with what I've been saying? See, now you dropped off. Good. What did you learn today? What did you learn about yourself? And how does your brain feel? Lola said, holding people accountable helps me grow. Every time you don't hold somebody personally accountable, they win and you lose. Because they didn't hold the motherfucker that's actually their problem. Raggedy ass pinky toe. Got it. Nola said, I learned you have to set and maintain high standards. Yes, Lola, I meant holding people accountable helps me grow. Nola, I learned about myself. I think you meant not. I am not willing to deal with others' losers. And thank you for bringing that up, Nola. Unwilling. And that's the conversation that we had yesterday as well. So we are not in contact with my cousin because he is in contact with his mother. If you choose to be in relationships with people, as they continue to be in relationships with unaccountable people, it's going to impact you. So people not holding themselves personally accountable and nice, good people not having the guts to hold other people accountable, you're accessory after the fact. Because what's going to happen is you're going to get this motherfucker right here, and you won't believe what she did, and I can't believe what she said. And now you have to be the moderator and the mediator because they're too afraid to hold that person personally accountable. So that's why that client had to go. Nothing wrong with the client. Where he chose to purchase a house in that cut is, and the person that he chose to manage his property is the problem. So he can deal with her, but we're not dealing with neither one of them. Kevin said, learn the right amygdala is involved in rapid automatic emotional responses. And that is what is happening. The unaccountable people are being led by their right amygdala. And when you try to, and remember, when you try to hold them personally accountable, when you try to hold people personally accountable, they're going to pop off because what you're saying is the thing that you're holding them personally accountable for is literally the thing that doesn't match the narrative that they have for themselves. And that's the cognitive dissonance. So when I tell my mother, this is what your husband did, that messes with her narrative that I have this amazing man that I'm married to. So she can't hear me, because if she could hear me, then she would have to look at herself and say, why did I have another second failed marriage? What's wrong with me? And she's not willing to do that. So it's easier to say I'm the problem. I'm not the problem. You still married to the problem. 30 years, something like that, somewhere around there. That's what's happening. So when you get ready to handle these people, handle conflict, and hold them accountable, the first thing they're going to do is fight your ass. Okay, cool. I was ready for that because, see, I had already did my writing and I knew that this is what you were going to say, because they only got a couple, 2 to 5 tricks is what unaccountable people have. Because remember, their working memory doesn't work. So they're not the brightest light bulb in the box, and they're dealing with a hijacked amygdala. So their decision making is off. So they got a couple, 2 go-to things that they do, and then that's it. So you work them scenarios out, and all I had to do was change my number. Everybody done lost their damn mind. You motherfuckers been abusing me for decades, and all I did was change my number. Y'all act like I came over here with a vengeance. So the point is, as Nola said, you can't be around people that decide they're going to have losers in their life either. That's why I don't talk to nobody. I'm not. My colleague that I was friends with since we were in college married the wrong woman, and I'm not going to keep listening to you and marry the wrong woman. I told him I had to sell my house, move back to Michigan in the house with the pervert for a year to rebuild my credit in order to move on, in order to get out of almost $19,000 worth of credit card debt. That's what I had to do. First of all, as y'all keep typing, the unmitigated gall for that person's username to be Victor Frankl. And Viktor Frankl wrote the book Man's Search for Meaning. That's number one. Don't disrespect that man's name. And then number two, I just had to remove your stupid ass for telling me to do some shit to teach you some neuroplasticity. Stupid ass. The fuck? And just like that, I held that person personally accountable. Don't tell me what the fuck to do. Fuck you. And unaccountable people always want to make it seem like, well, you need to do this. And why you ain't, motherfucker. Put your real name out. You don't even have enough self-confidence to use your real name on the internet. Don't tell me to teach shit. I'm going to teach you that you need to use your real motherfucking name. You that unaccountable that you can't even use your real name on YouTube. You don't tell me what the fuck to do. Put your real name out there. Kevin, myself, now I understand what's happening when I bite my tongue and respond and not reply to unaccountable people. That's what you can tell, that neurologically, that's what's taking place. Now, Grok didn't give us this, but chat did. And Grok was just basically saying that the research ain't there. And the research ain't there because the researchers is too fucking scared to confront people and hold people personally accountable. That's how bad it is between not going above and beyond, not handling conflict when it occurs, and not holding people personally accountable. Everybody's like, the world is so messed up. No, you're messed up. You is the fucking problem. You in your community. Don't be talking about what's happening in the prime minister's house or motherfucking White House or wherever else when you got shit show palooza going on in your residence. Fix that and demand that they fix that while you're fixing it. Fix you first. It fixes a lot. Hold your motherfucking self personally accountable and then see about everybody else. But no, because you know you're not going to be personally accountable. And that's why you got this loserist. And that's why you let motherfuckers get away with shit, because you know your day in the future of letting yourself off the hook. That's what you want. Well, I'm just saying they need to do something. You need to do something. And the last question for today was, how does your brain feel? How does your brain feel? So in summary, she over there hard as shit. She asking for too much. No, you ain't asking for a fucking enough in your life. That's what the fuck the problem is. You over here accepting fucking crumbs and you ain't had a meal in 10 years. I'm not about to lower my standards for no unaccountable motherfucker. We all got one brain. Cut us all, we bleed. COVID sent everybody to the fucking house. We is equal. And I don't give a fuck how much money you got or what the fuck your title is. You ain't about to be treating me inferior or being unaccountable because you won't deal with your shit. That's not going to happen. Ever. Like I said, I will be over here talking to my damn self. My daughter knows, be unaccountable, you can kick fucking rocks. I wish I would stick around for that bullshit. Not fucking happening. Ever. But you over here accepting it. Don't say that because you going to hurt their feelings. Fuck their feelings. If their feelings get hurt, that's on them. They need their feelings hurt. Tell the truth. Shame the devil. I don't want them to feel bad. Why? They make you feel bad? They make you feel bad every time. But I don't want them to feel bad. They trained you to not make them feel bad while they're constantly making you feel bad because they don't want to deal with their shit. Y'all should have read that fucking email that I sent them. I had receipts on receipts on receipts, and none of them knew what the other person was doing. And then it was all out there for all three of them to see. Because I'm a gangster when it comes to that shit. 100%. Don't fuck with me. I promise you. This ain't a fight you want. Y'all ain't ever seen a bull get mad before. You better get the fuck out the way. You're going to get horned. I am a tourist true and through. I said, how does your brain feel this morning so we could go ahead and get out of here? Now you can understand why I appear to be so hard. Because you cannot tolerate unaccountability. One loser is three too many. 1% of tolerance of an unaccountable person is stopping you from being your best. So you got to get the courage. You got to get it together. I thought I was never going to have the courage to say that stuff to them after all those decades of all that pain and hurt. I thought I was never going to be able to do it. And then I was. And don't have no problem at all. My sister literally just emailed me about a month ago with some bullshit. I deleted the email before I saw the subject line and deleted that bullshit. Get the fuck out of here. What you want? You must be dating somebody that cares about family, and now you're going to act like you got a sister. We ain't no fucking amends. Because first line of the email said, call me. I told y'all I ain't using the fucking phone to talk to y'all. So that's why I knew it was some bullshit. You still disrespecting my boundary, which is send me a fucking email. Get me on the phone. They don't want me on the phone. I'm different. The last thing you want is to hear my voice. Kevin says, my brain feels like it just had all the fluids and filters changed. Oh, you went and got a full body workup. That's awesome. Lola said, my brain feels like I can have more courage to talk to people and tell them how I really feel. Yes, ma'am. Autocorrect said Carriage. You have to, ladies and gentlemen. You doing this for you. You're not doing this for them. Unaccountable people trained us to not hold them accountable. You want to keep the class segment in YouTube? I don't know what that means, Nola. We could talk about that offline because I'm confused about that. We can talk about that when the live is over. So in summary, ladies and gentlemen, here's the thing. Don't start no shit, won't. Oh, no. I know what you're saying. No, that was for Kevin and Regina. I sent Kevin and Regina a class segment of my class. Regina enjoyed it. Kevin said no, never. Basically, don't send me no more messages, Dr. Donna, about that. I got it. Now I understand what you're saying. No, that's why I left it unlisted. They saw it, so we can delete it, honestly. Unless, Kevin, if you wanted to watch the video again, let me know. I will keep it listed on the YouTube channel if you want that done. Because you enjoyed it so much the first time. Yeah, y'all, it was interesting. Y'all both had two different takeaways from that lesson. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, here is the summation of what I'm saying. Hopefully now you can understand why I behave the way I behave on the lives, why I remove people, why I have 3,200 blocked people on Instagram, because you are not going to stop me from doing what I came here to do. Your inability to deal with your shit is not going to stop me from becoming the shit. And Lola said, I'm about to go make so much better decisions. Exactly. Because they have wired you for you to accept it. It's a loserance, and that's a loser tolerance of no. Okay, Kevin, got it. All right, just checking. You have a greater appreciation for me having to listen to that to present information to you. I told y'all it's like finding a needle in a needle stack, and that is the best of what was available from a learning perspective. So here's the point. Going forward and growing forward, when I go ham on somebody online, I can feel their unaccountability. And that's why I'm holding them personally accountable. When people come over here and start talking about, your battle buddy took care of it, Kevin. When people come over here talking about other people, when they start talking about anything other than themselves, I know that you are not here to be personally accountable because you're talking about somebody else, because that's easy. That's smoke screens and mirrors. That's wag the dog. It's personal accountability. You're going to have to fix you first. When you get fixed, then you can start assessing the people around you. But you don't get to fix you first, avoid everybody around you, and then say the government needs to. No, you need to do your shit first. Fix you first, fix everything that you actually own, control, and influence, and then start assessing outside of that sphere. But I guarantee you got so much fucking work to do. You're not going to be able to fix you first and hold everybody around you and then decide what 47 is going to do or what the Prime Minister of Canada is going to do. You ain't got time for that, because it's everybody's responsibility to hold themselves personally accountable. Their job is to hold themselves personally accountable and the people that they interact with. Congress' job is to hold Congress personally accountable. The House, Parliament, and all that, that's their job. That's not your job. Your job was to vote them in or vote them out. End of discussion. Now let them do their part. That's how that goes. But nobody's willing to do that. Why? Because the shit is scary as hell. Because you do have to stand up to a crazy mother and a pervert stepfather and an abusive hoe ass of a sister. You got to do that. My cousin has to stand up to his mother. Until he does that, we have no contact. Nice dude, you got a problem. You got a loser that's fucking up your whole world. And we're not going to make you feel better about that. So let you have full access and see how that shit feels. That's what needs to take place. Unaccountable people got y'all fucked up. They got y'all thinking that you have to take it. Why? Because they can't. So they can't take it. And now they want you to take what they're saying because they're too chicken shit to go handle their shit. That's what this is about. The gentleman yesterday didn't want to hold the person that's managing his properties here in Las Vegas accountable. So he decided that my daughter's business model and cutting up 4 fucking boxes was the problem in that business situation. Because that was easier to do. And he said, in the future, there will be no future. The Zelle cleared block. We're done. There is no fucking future. Not with you. In the future, you're going to realize who the fuck was your problem and who wasn't your problem. When your businesses, when you are operating in the red instead of the black, then you're going to find out who wasn't taking care of business. Because we see it, boots on the ground. We already see who the problem is. We saw you before she entered the chat, and now she's in the chat and there's conflict. What changed? Her. Because we ain't changed. In fact, we've improved. So that's your problem. You can't avoid holding people personally accountable. They're going to pop off. You already know that. Hijack the amygdala because they think they're the shit and they're not. And now you're going to make them have to look at themselves and they don't like that. Sabrina had to look at herself, which is why she couldn't even respond to the email because I spoke the truth. And I've been speaking the truth. And I kept saying it. And finally, I just had to say it in black and white. Point blank, period. Jared asked, want to talk about LeBron James, and now he don't have access to this live no more. Yeah, King James. Ain't no kings on this motherfucking world. I don't give a fuck. Charles or none of them. I got one king, and them don't walk on the face of the planet Earth. I lead by example, and I'm showing y'all what you have to do. Was it scary going over there, talking and having that final conversation with my mother after almost 50 years? Yup. Was it necessary? Yup. Because without it, I don't come out as a nerd. Was it necessary to get divorced and take your house and sell it to pay off debt and then have a repossession charged off, paid off on your credit for 7 years and only have $50 a month child support that you never got? Yep. Sure was. Recovering from that stupid ass marriage took me longer to get, it was longer to get divorced and longer to recover than 20 minutes we was at the courthouse. Although I did get married and divorced at the same courthouse, just different floors in Florida. The point is, you got to ask yourself, are they worth you not being your best? They're going to pop off. They're going to act a fool. They are going to call you everything but the child of God. And that is going to sit in your left amygdala until you tell your left amygdala, we know why we made this decision. We know why we held them personally accountable. Don't do anything without a strategy. And now, over time, all of the things that happened that you were suppressing, all of the acquiescing and the behavior modification that you were doing is going to come up. You're going to feel like a fool. You're going to feel stupid and everything else. And then you're going to feel better. And they're going to be gone. And then you're going to grow forward. Grow continually is one of the 74 principles for leadership. You're going to have a better existence while they still can't attack their own fears. And that shit's on them. You're not responsible for them. You are not responsible for those people. They are. No matter what they tell you, everybody has a brain, especially not fully functioning, able-bodied fucking adults. My daughter's got 3 mental illnesses, and I'm still not responsible for her. She is, because I'm saying do what I say do, and you're going to live a very extraordinary existence. Or not. The choice is yours. So going forward, when I say a motherfucker got to go, when I say I'm raising a standard because somehow some unaccountable person slipped in, that's what that's about. One loser is 3 too many. One loser. Why do they get to win? Why do they get to sit in comfort zones and do absolutely nothing and ruin the fucking world? Because they are chicken shits. Because of an amygdala-led life. Fuck them. And twice on Tuesday. That's how I see that. So there will be no unaccountable people over here. If you become unaccountable, your ass is going to. Point blank, period. I'm not tolerating it. If you don't want to do this work, you don't have to. But I'm not keeping you fucking company because you are too afraid to go attack the people that are attacking you. You are too afraid to hold those people accountable. So you want me to make you feel good about your badass choices. I'm never going to do that. I'm never going to make you feel good about being unaccountable because you shouldn't. Because it's a disservice to your brain, to your soul, to your spirit, to your mind, to your body, and to your legacy to let a chicken shit motherfucker stop you from being your best. Because that's what it is. I love them. Okay, well, love yourself more. We've been together for a long time. Well, you've been with yourself more. You're going to die with you. You are the most important person in your life first. And then everybody else comes second. That's how that goes. So you're going to put them above you, their needs and everything else above yours. Why? Who the fuck are they? Watching them do absolutely nothing. My mother got more time in front of the television than any other place in her entire life. Fuck her. That's how I see that. You don't want me to be my best because you at your worst, you gonna be gone. I'm gonna be at my best always, with or without you. With that being said, going forward, if you don't understand this message, if you come over here popping off, if you watching on the replay and you think, well, it ain't gonna happen to me, they thought that. They thought that. And I'm always keeping a tab. Sabrina did not think she's going to get an email that said, for 69 days, you have not participated in a challenge and you only participate in one challenge. You are not cut out for this. You do not have what it takes for the rigors of this, and you are no longer eligible for 30-day challenges. You're not eligible. This is a privilege to have access to me and what I've built. It is a privilege. It is not a right. It is something that you have earned, and it can be taken away should you decide to become personally unaccountable. There are block buttons on every social media platform, phones, and emails. I will cut off access to me. Take it as a no. If I can cut off my mama, stepfather, and sister, and I'm named after my mama, and my child knows it, I will cut you off too, because I will not be around for you being personally unaccountable. And I don't really give a fuck if you don't like that. I don't care. I don't. There are 6.8 billion unaccountable motherfuckers walking the face of the planet Earth because 6.8 billion people are too fucking chicken shit to say, be your best or get the fuck on. Be your best or get the fuck on. Not, well, everybody trying. Fuck trying. Trying is why we are where the fuck we are. I'm doing the best that I can. It ain't good enough. And good enough never is. That's what's wrong. That little letting them slide. Letting them slide is a slippery slope, and it leads you to the sticky road to rutness. And then your fat ass is stuck in a rut and you can't get your big ass up. That's what this is about. So under no circumstances will I tolerate anything other than excellence. Lola, you have leaps and bounds. Leaps and bounds. You barely could send a LinkedIn message in January. And look at you now. You done opened up a doggone computer and can do 2 devices. 6 months later, Nola is about to finish her 3rd annual challenge. Regina is about to do something about her personal legend. And I'm not going to steal it from her. She might or might not be on here because she's taking care of some stuff. And Kevin, all the things that you have done, and you ain't missed not and challenge. You had one of the biggest health challenges of your life. You still turning stuff in. That's commitment. That's what that is. That's what makes y'all the shit and bad mofos in training. That's what this is about. You are doing the work. So no, I will not have a motherfucker that left for 70 days come back telling me, I'm ready now. I'm ready now. King James. King James can kick fucking rocks because he ain't shit either. That's what this is about. You doing the work. You accessing your best. You having better existence on July 17, 2025 than you had July 17, 2024. And it just keeps getting better with time. And I know that's the whispers. And I mean that. That's what's actually happening. So you pat yourself on the back. You treat yourself. You celebrate your small wins because you are doing this work. This work is not easy. It's up here. Most of it is happening up here. And then some people can kind of see it, but they don't really understand it. But you out here working hard every day. Sweat equity, cognitive fitness is what you are doing. You are better than unaccountable people because they not shit. I don't give a fuck what house they in, what car they drive, how much money they got. They ain't shit. I said it and will continue to say it to their fucking faces. That's how this goes. You doing great work. The invisible shit, the hard shit, the delayed gratification shit that they don't want to fucking do. It's easy to go kiss ass, skip steps, cheat, and everything else and say, look at me now. I'm getting paper. And that's it. That's it. Ain't got a fucking neuroplastic, not a neural pathway or shit. Got a bunch of shit and you ain't shit. That's what's happening. But you are. You doing the work. So yeah, I'm 10 toes down on personal accountability. I'm 10 toes down on neuroplasticity. Right here. The most important organ in your body in the fucking world. And I will go to my grave saying it. But what I'm not going to do is let people be personally unaccountable because they just are too chicken shit to become the shit. That's not going to happen. So I will block, kick, drop, drag, read, and everything else to get you to fuck away from the land of real leaders. Day in and day out. Don't start none, won't be none. But I can pop the fuck off, and I promise you, you won't want to be on the receiving end of it virtually and damn sure not physically. I weigh 127 and you'll be in a chokehold and not understand how and why you are about to go to sleep. Or worse. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, go hold everybody personally accountable, and the world is going to be a better place. I will be back tomorrow, same time, same place, safe space for those of you who want to be personally accountable. Different Brain t-shirt. Go off and have a brain-tastic day. Take care.